Today we're talking with Tracy Prigmore, managing partner at TLT Solutions and founder at She Has a Deal. Tracy has one of the more unique stories in our industry, and she's using her experiences to help the next generation of women and minority hoteliers. Big weekend for Tracy, as the She Has a Deal pitch competition is this weekend. Stay tuned till the end when we get to hear from one of the finalists. Thanks for joining.
I'm so excited, Tracy and Sanaa. Thank you guys for joining me. Big weekend for you guys. You're excited?
It's huge.
Absolutely. I waited 6 months for this.
I bet you did.
I'm wondering what did I get myself into?
We all feel that way sometimes, Tracy.
Yeah.
But you're like the dog that caught the car, right? You had a great idea, and then here you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Every year we have a conference. We feel the same way.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But I'm glad you guys do. All right, so let's dive in. This is fantastic. She Has a Deal pitch competition is this weekend. Again, Sanaa, one of our finalists, right? Thank you.
Yeah,
Tracy,
thank you for having me.
Tracy, our founder. Tracy, we've been trying to get together and do this for a while. I'm glad you guys could squeeze me in for a few minutes right before our competition.
Yes.
Absolutely.
All right, so Tracy, tell me how you got started with all of this. One, you know what? Give me your background. Tell me how you got into the business, because everybody wants to know that. And then I want to know how you got the competition started.
Yeah. So my background is actually in healthcare. So
Makes sense.
I was a healthcare executive, and I was investing in real estate as a money-making hobby. And I was looking for a commercial asset class that I could get excited about. And at the time, I worked for a company, a national healthcare system, and I traveled all around the country. So I stayed in every hotel you could imagine, from rural areas to urban. And when I found out that hotels were a commercial asset class, I got excited because I wanted an asset class that I could get excited about. And because I traveled extensively for work, I thought that I knew hotels and that, it was just something that interests me. So I decided that I wanted to buy hotels when I found out that it was an option.
I mean, well, listen, we get that a lot in the industry, right? Everyone thinks owning a hotel is fun and sexy and easy and all. Yeah, let's the hotel on the beach and sell apples or something, right? But I'm impressed because it's really hard to get there, which is part of why you started the competition. But I'm impressed. So when did you buy your first one, Tracy?
So the first hotel is the hotel I did not buy because I could not get the loan. So I failed at my first hotel, which was
Been there, done that.
2008. I actually put a hotel under contract at the end of 2007 and thought that I was closing in 2008 of January. But that was the time when everything was going a little bit crazy. And I applied for an SBA loan. And after I did everything, and SBA told me, you're good. We just have to go to committee. It was a 504. And then they voted 3-2 no. So I failed at my first hotel. That was 2008. And I didn't come back to it again until 2014. So 2014. So I went back to, my regular healthcare job. And it was always in it. And I was buying physician practices and crazy things for the healthcare system. So I didn't really have the time or energy to focus on hotels, but I always knew that it was a passion of mine to get into hotel ownership, and a lot of stuff in between. But I had a child, I left my job, worked on Obamacare. And then at that point I decided, okay, it's time to, get back in the game and figure this out.
Okay. So in 2014, you bought your first.
And that was through I'm sorry.
No, keep going.
I was saying that was through a limited partnership.
Okay.
That I bought my first hotel. And then, but I always knew that I wanted to sponsor and, be a syndicator and sponsor my own deals. So at that point, when I became a limited partner in a hotel deal, I continued to look for opportunities. And so I sponsored my first hotel deal in 2016. It was a Hampton Inn.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So Hampton, whereabouts?
It's in Southern Maryland.
All right.
Right outside of DC, about 45 minutes outside of DC.
So how many do we have today? 2021. How many do we have today?
So 4 in the portfolio, not enough, looking for opportunities.
Hey, 4 is better than 0.
Yes. I'm proud of myself. I mean, it's been a journey. It's definitely been a journey. But one that I'm glad that I took.
You should be. Listen, we're in this industry, and obviously there's some very successful people, but a lot of people who've tripped and stumbled and fallen and taken the path less traveled. It's not easy doing what we're doing. So kudos to you. And everybody thinks it's easy and everybody wants to do it. But as you can see, as Sanaa's realizing it's not as easy as we want it to be. Okay, so you did that. Now, what then made you say, I got to go help others?
Sure. So my nature is to be a servant leader. However, when I went to the first conference, I think it was your conference, the Hunter Conference was my first hotel investment conference. And I looked around and I said, wait a minute, there are no women here, or there's very few women. Where are the women? And so I was asking people.
With Peggy Berg?
What's that?
It sounds like you've been talking with Peggy Berg, the Castile Project.
This is before I met Peggy. But
okay,
Peggy and I did meet there. Right. But I was like, where are the women? All I saw was men everywhere, suits. And where are the women at? And so when I finally did, get my first hotel, a lot of women were reaching out to me saying, well, how do you do it? I've been to this conference, I've been to that conference, but I'm still not sure where to start. And I could relate to them because when I came up with this great idea that I wanted to buy a hotel, as you imagine, it was many years before I actually executed on buying a hotel. But I found that, the information was not easily defined, or it was not available in the way in which I needed it, to take on those risks. And so because I had a consulting background, I worked for big 6 consulting firms, I was used to taking complex ideas and simplifying them. And so for me to get comfortable and understand where I was going with this, I created a framework, which I call the 9-stage hotel investment roadmap. And since it was helpful to me, I thought that it might be helpful to other women because they were asking similar questions that I had when I got started. And so actually, I thought that this was something that I would get, one of the brands to do, like Hilton or Marriott to do this. Because when I first started looking into hotel ownership, Hilton had a development conference for women. And so it's a funny story, but I met Chris Nasetta at a Hilton owner's reception.
Great guy.
And I'm an introvert. And so all the guys were around Chris at this ownership event. And I wanted to meet him. And so I was able to get one of the VPs to introduce me, but I'm an introvert. So when I went over, I'm like, what am I going to say? Just hello, I'm Tracy, I'm a franchisee. So I said, hey, I first got interested in Hilton when I went to this Hilton development conference. How come you don't do it anymore? And he's like, we do. And I'm like, no, you don't. So we got into this conversation. He's like, oh, I'm only the CEO. I don't know anything. So anyway, that started a whole long conversation where he connected me with his executive team. And, we just started talking about how can we get more women, into ownership and development. And so I gave them all kinds of wonderful ideas about what to do. And then I became a Marriott franchisee. And I told them everything great they should do. And they were all very interested and excited about it. But what I realized in all of these conversations was that no one could do it but me, because I had experienced it, and that it was all in my head. And it actually kept me up at night thinking, I really should be doing this because I know that there's women are interested and they're capable, but they haven't really had the opportunity. So I had a conversation with Eric Jacobs about women in ownership and what Marriott wanted to do, or what they were doing, or what they thought they could do to help. And it just spurred, it inspired me, it sparked me. I sat down that evening and just put pen to paper and then started plotting out, okay, what needs to happen here? And for me, number one, we had to expose and inspire these women to hotel ownership, to know that it's an option, because many of them weren't realizing that it was an option. And we've proven that through this competition. Secondly, most importantly, it was education. So we had to teach them how to do it. So we had to take this complex information and make it I won't say digestible, but just easy to understand and follow and have that roadmap. And I figured if it was helpful to me, it would be helpful to them. So we created the education, and then we wanted to have really a forum for women, like-minded women who were interested in ownership, to come together and identify, sponsors, mentors, and potentially business partners. And so that's how, I would have to say that the pitch competition part of it, came about because everyone loves a great competition. And so in order to solidify the learning in our master classes, we put the pitch competition on top of it so that, that learning, and Sanaa can attest to this, that if you're learning something, until you apply it, you don't really completely get it. It's like experience that you need, to really lock in the learning. And so that's why we put the pitch competition on top of it.
So what year for the competition is this year? Second or
This
third?
is only the second. Yeah,
Second
this is
year.
only the second year.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
That's great though. This is fantastic. So Sanaa, how did you find Tracy, and how did you find that she has a deal competition? How'd you find her?
So I found her actually through LinkedIn, through some of my, previous colleagues. I was seeing a feed come in from this competition that was done. I had just actually moved back to Chicago, and I went back to school full time. I said, you know what, this COVID situation is hard. I don't even know when hospitality is going to come back. I got to take advantage of this delay. And how do I turn my delay into an opportunity? I was just going to sit around the house and do nothing. I'm too busy minded. Like I have to do something. That's when the market gets better, I can go out and I can, I'm in action. So I decided that I wanted to go back to school, and I was going after school after a long time. And I decided to do my master's in global BIM management. BIM stands for Building Information Modeling. I can talk about that a little later. But when I went into it, and then when I saw the pitch competition and that it opened up for, participants, and I was very hesitant because I was like, I may not be the right fit. I'll think about it next year. And they said, you have to be a student. I was like, next year I won't be a student. I'm done being a student. So then last minute, I reached out to Tracy and I said, I don't know if I'm the right fit, this and this and that. She's like, just apply. It doesn't hurt, And so I applied, and I said, and I put together this video. I put my resume, I did the whole thing. And I did a little prayer and I sent it.
So tell me about the deal. Can I ask? I don't know if I'm premature. Tell me about the deal.
So I'll give you like a taste of it, but you have to show up on June 5th on Saturday to watch it. Great. So the deal, actually, I analyzed a couple deals throughout the process, because as we were learning, source opportunities, you're going out there talking to brokers, talking to people in your network, talking to your friends and family. Hey, if you see land, or if you see an opportunity for a hotel, call me, look out for me, whatever the situation was. So I did all of that. And then what was really hard part about it was that, man, I was looking at these opportunities. I was like, God, these deals are so bad. It's not fair. All these big developers come in and they take everything. There's nothing for me. And it's true. They have a more powerful network than me. This is not fair. Anyways, I went through this whole situation, but I kept looking, but it kept giving me the exercise to identify, do the market research and I think it really taught me about, which I think men are so good at development, is that you don't add any emotion when you're analyzing an opportunity. It is or it isn't. It works or it doesn't work. You carry on. So I started to have that very much of an attitude. I'm going to be stuck with this. It's got to work. It's got to be great. I got to report to people. So when I was looking at the opportunities, I had that very much that mindset. So I would go back to the brokers and say, thank you very much for your time. These are the 10 reasons, not even one, 10 reasons why I can't go after this deal. Thank you for your time. And then I would carry on. So then finally a deal opportunity came to Tracy, and she's like, it was in California, and then I was hearing all these things from my friends. Everybody's leaving California, blah, 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 all this gossip. And I was like, so, one thing I did learn, you got to have a beginner's mindset. You don't know what kind of gem you're going to find in deals. And I think that's what the excitement was. You got to have a beginner's mind. You go in, you analyze it, you put your work in, and then you step back and say, yes, it's for me or not. So when Tracy brought this deal, she's like, it's Northern California. I was like, no. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to check it out. She gave me another one in Pittsburgh. I was like, I'll do that one too. So I looked at it, and then I started doing my research, and I was like, holy cow. If I don't jump on this, I'm going to miss a huge opportunity. So I told Tracy, I'm doing this. So it actually came through her. Everything else I was doing through my friends and, calling up brokers, trying to see if I can find anything. So that is how I came to the opportunity.
I'm still want to know. I want to know where where it's located, who the equity partners
It's located in the most desirable, most lifestyle destination in San Jose. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Oh, wow.
It is.
Where do I sign?
Because land in San Jose is extremely difficult to find because it all gets taken up by the tech companies. And also entitlement process are very long. And my land has a special attachment to it, which I can't talk about. You have to watch it on June 5th. So I have to go through.
Teague's like, what?
I'm ready. I got time. I'd like to hear it.
I know. I just can't. I'm in the situation that I can't.
Give them the high level. Give them the highlights.
The highlights are that it is the only lifestyle destination. 2, it's aligned with very cool, sustainable business strategies that gets us super high tax benefits. 3, it makes it very attractive because of these benefits. It lowers our equity amount, making it very attractive for investors. It's also the coolest brand that just came out. And can I talk about the brand? Who the brand is?
Yeah.
It's with Hyatt. It's their new product called Caption.
Oh, it's great. Good.
And they've been our tremendous partner. They've been with me every step of the way. So it's perfect in every way, shape, and form. The market speaks to it. I mean, it's the demographic speaks to it. So what else can I tell you?
Yeah.
So it's a Caption by Hyatt in San Jose. You have the ground tied up?
Not quite.
Okay,
no.
and that's fine. And we're looking for investors. Tracy, is that ultimately what this is? We're looking for
investors. Well, so thanks for asking, Teague. So what we've done with She Has a Deal is we've expanded to include a fund. So we've created an equity fund called SHAD, Prosperity Fund 1, and we're raising equity to support women-led projects that originate from the pitch competition. So as you know, capital is one of the biggest barriers in commercial real estate. And we want to be able to help more women get into the business. And so we knew that if we were going to be successful with that mission, that we had to address the money issue. So we're not there yet. We're continuing to raise. We're really officially launching the fund this week. And we will continue to raise, and we'll continue to support women-led projects, that come through She Has a Deal and the pitch competition. But yes, we'll be raising for that project. We are, still working through the details, with the sellers on it. So we really hope that we'll get it accomplished. Of course, with an event like this or competition, it's not, timing doesn't necessarily align, with what we're doing. What's important to note that this is a real world but didactic, experience and competition. So, we're meshing the learning with, the realities of, how it works. How it works as far as getting deals together. But the important thing is that Sanaa has learned tremendous amount. We started in December of 2020, and I've seen her blossom like tremendously from, just every step. We go through the 9 stages, through all the 9 stages, from sourcing the deal, to analyzing that deal, creating a deal thesis, to, to doing, taking control of it, due diligence, to structuring the deal, raising capital, closings next after you raise the capital. And then we teach them about, asset managing their deal as well as exiting the project. So there's a whole 9-stage process there, and they start from the very beginning. And so I think what she can tell you is that when she first started on her model, it was like, well, why this, that, and the other. And now she's telling me, where the model is insufficient. And I'm like, well, we made it simple. So you could, get it done, but not trip over yourselves with it. But where's your waterfall? Like your model doesn't have the full waterfall. Okay. So now we do have that. We hid that tab, but you know what? We're going to open it up for you. So, but no, she's like literally asking all the right questions and making all the connections between the fact that, when you're doing a development deal, a lot of what you're doing, there are assumptions, right? And you're using the best information that you can find. And, you're coming up with assumptions based on evidence and sometimes gut instinct, right? And so, yeah, it's a learning process, and that's what the competition is about for this particular.
Listen,
group.
I am so impressed with both of you guys, and I mean that sincerely. And Sanaa, if I may speak for the money side, I can tell you, money is the easy part. And I know you think I'm crazy. You're like, no, it's impossible. The money's the hardest part. It's not, especially today. There's just money everywhere. You got to have a good idea.
Right.
And it better be the right person, the right people, the right team. Right. And that's what the money's trying to believe in. Has this team done their due diligence? Have they done their work? Do I believe in them? Do I think they can get this done? Or are they all full of hot air? That's part of why they want to know, how many of these have you done before? When you say none, this is my first one. They're like, next. You want it and come back. But money's always looking for places to be placed, right? Good ideas, good investments. They're always looking for good stuff. And they need people to go search, do the time and energy to find it and create it. That's what we do. So I love it. And Tracy's been there before. So she's using her knowledge and experience to train the next generation. And then Sanaa, you'll get there. You'll get 1 done, then you get 10 done, and then you get to go train the next people.
Absolutely. I'm ready.
It keeps coming. And listen, if I can speak for the men in the industry, which is tricky as well, we love it. It's an awesome industry. It's a very inclusive industry. We want nothing more than for you ladies to be successful as possible. You have a different perspective on what we're doing. We're very inclusive. Come look at it from a different way that we haven't seen it before, and show us what we're missing and be better than we are. I think you're there. I think everyone's pulling for you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, the women are more than capable. It's just given the opportunity on the investment side of the business, because, the women are all throughout the industry and just underrepresented on the investment side and some of the executive leadership side. But we're changing that.
It's coming. No, it's coming. You guys got the right spirit and the right energy. I love it. All right. So when is the competition? Tell us.
Okay. So
how can we watch?
Sure. It's June 5th. Which is Saturday. We start at 9 a.m. and we're in person as well. So if anybody's in the DC metropolitan area, we're at the McLean Hilton and the Hilton Innovation Gallery. Doors open at 8:45. But for those who are not in the DC area, we are going to be live streaming from our website. And you can go to shehasadeal.com and you can register or RSVP for the live stream. And then in addition to watching the live stream, their scores, who wins, there's a little bit of it that the audience has to play in deciding who the winner is. So 2 things. So 1 is that we ask that you participate by rating each team and providing some constructive feedback on their pitches during the live stream. And all the instructions will be there when you log in. And oh, by the way, you get to win prizes. You potentially could win prizes when you participate. And then we have what's called a Viewer's Choice Award. So we ask that our viewers watch all the pitches. There'll be 5 pitches, and then you vote for your favorite pitch. And that team will also receive a prize for being the viewer's choice.
Oh, that's great. How many finalists? How many pitches?
So 5 teams will be pitching starting at 9 a.m. And then the pitches will end around 12:15. And then we're going to take a little break. And we tell everybody go get lunch and come back around 1:40. And then I get a chance to interview Stephanie Lenartz, the president of Marriott. Yeah, I'm really excited about that. And then once that interview is over with Stephanie, we'll have a little fireside chat, get to know her a little bit better. And then we'll introduce all the participants, everyone who participated in 2021. We'll introduce those to the viewers, and then we will announce who takes home the $50,000 prize and deal equity in the Shad Prosperity Fund 1. We'll be announcing that at the end of the conclusion of introducing you to all the women. It's going to be exciting. We're at the Fashion Mall at the Hyatt Regency in Tyson's Corner. We're having a little bit of a fashion show introduction, and we really would love to have all of you watch.
I love it. I'm excited. And Sanaa, I got to say, I kind of feel invested now, right, in you. So I don't know. I mean, if you don't win, I'm going to have my feelings hurt, I think.
I'm winning. I'm breaking ground in 2023. In 2024, I'm opening Q1. You are invited to the VIP grand opening.
I mean, I love it. I love it. Let's invest. Send the checkbook. Send the invest.
What time are you pitching?
I'm pitching at 9:15 a.m.
All right, great. I'm going to tune in.
She's the first pitch. So
I haven't met the other candidates. I'm sure they're amazing. Good luck to them too. Yes. But Sanaa got here first, so I'm pulling for you. Let's go.
Thank you.
This is going to be great. Good luck to you both. Good luck. Good luck. Tracy, keep up the good work. Somebody's got to take the ball and run with it, and you're doing amazing stuff there. So thank you on behalf of the industry. Thanks for everything you're doing.